be able. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is we want to have a look back at, since we started, we actually gave you guys a lot of information and a lot of stuff to do. And we want to just kind of have a look back and review the things that we've done so that you guys can sort of say, oh okay, I did that part, but I didn't do that part. And just so that we're all on the same page where you need to be at this stage. So, and then also to give you the opportunity to say, I still have a gap here and I still need to do that. And I would like to see this and I would like to see that. So that's what we're planning to do today.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, all right. And I'm going to kick off then. I'm just going to share my screen with you. And hopefully you guys can see that one over there. Okay, great. So if you guys, I wanted to sort of just start off with this definition of commitment, because sometimes it does get a bit tough in the course. And there's a lot of stuff to learn and some new concepts and things that you're maybe not familiar with. And that pushes the boundaries of some people and people get a little bit uncomfortable. But I think if you just kind of have this mindset of commitment and understand that commitment is not conditional, it's not about convenience, it's a decision that you make that you want to do this. And this sort of translates into the same thing that we've been talking about your offer as well, that or when you work with a fitness client, the client wants the outcome, the client wants the transformation, but the client has also got to be willing to give the commitment to do the work that takes them there. And it's exactly with this course and what we're working with you guys. So I know I'm preaching to the choir at the moment, but to some of the guys, you know, when life gets in the way, then you've got to actually decide, you know, where your commitment lies and what it is that you want to do. And if you want that online PT training business that provides you with a recurring income and gives you some time freedom, you're going to have to put in some work to get there. So that's the first thing I wanted to note. Anyone want to make a comment around commitment?
No.
Okay, cool.
I just think it's a good way for us to kind of connect with what we're asking of our clients. It's so second nature for us to do these tasks or these things that we're asking of them that we actually forget that it's very foreign. And when something's foreign to someone, first of all, they might not see all of the value to it, but it's not in their schedule. And if it's not in your schedule, it's so easy to just not do it. Most of the stuff that we teach, it's so easy to do, but it's also as easy not to do. So it's literally like, I think Alit gave us the best example where you say, if a client wants to book in the slot, it's unconditional for you it's unconditional for you to miss this. So you just tell them, no, you can pick another slot. This slot is not available. So I appreciated that example of it.
Yeah, it's already having that time commitment to this. Like it's as if you already have a client in this time. Yeah, it's a commitment to it. Yeah,
absolutely. You know,
and you don't need to lie. You said that this slot of time it's booked already. Can I offer you another slot? And sometimes you need to get out of your comfort zone. In terms, sometimes for you know, I had some time to teach on Sunday as well, and my family understand that. But I'm trying not to do it every time. So I will give time and you know to the family because there are many things that we need to discuss. So this time to say I have a client is because you allow, you know, someone to take on your priority. Not that you don't give them priority or you not prioritize them, but this is a commitment to your own business. If you want to be successful, there will be many things that will be uncomfortable. So you need to start to get used, and most importantly, how you prioritize your time, how you make sure that people, not take advantage. And thank you so much for this commitment, because it seems that I'm not indulging, I'm involving in something else that can add some benefit to my business. But I think that, it's so minor. I'm just curious about that it's taking too much of my time relatively, that I have small one, and it's overwhelming. So Sam, thank you so much. Now I will be much more assertive in my communication after this class. Thank you.
Okay. Great.
And also, I just want to draw on what Quinton said as well. It's a catch-22 actually to book slots in this time, because what we're literally trying to do is get away for that selling your time for money. And if you don't learn from this class, then that's not going to be a possibility. I mean, you could take another class that teaches you some similar skills, but again, if you're not going to commit to them and go to it, then you're going to continue perpetuating the cycle of I'm giving away the time slots of a class that's going to teach me how to free up my time. So it actually doesn't actually make sense to not prioritize it if you fully understand what you're actually learning, because maybe the whole class doesn't have the whole vision. Maybe we need to go through the vision or something like that, Quinton. I don't know what you think, because it's a no-brainer if you understand the power of what we're learning.
Exactly. Yeah, no, we can certainly discuss that as well. But I also want to be conscious of you guys and your time and the commitment that you've given. So you said from the beginning that you've got that Friday spot. Would it help a lot if we just move that to like a Thursday afternoon? I know we've tried this a few times, but since
like I've said, from Wednesday till Sunday, like afternoons don't work for me. Like I'm only available in the mornings before 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So those are my times, because I start work at 11:30.
Okay. If we tried a morning, then does that clash with your stuff then?
What time in the
Let's
morning?
say Thursday morning at 10. Neil, how does that?
What about, Thursday it's too early. What about Friday at 10?
Okay.
Is it okay?
I can do that. Neil?
I know Thursday, without even looking at my schedule, would work for me, but Friday I need to review.
Sorry, just say again, Elit, can you do Thursday? Jordan, can you do Thursday?
Yeah, I can do all.
Just a second, let me just hold on, okay? The old school of paper and me going together nicely.
Friday, I'd have to juggle things around.
Okay, Thursday
would be first prize for me. So if a lit can make Thursday, I would say let's jump on Thursday. Otherwise, if Friday is the only thing that we can do, then I can move things around.
I know that, okay, from time point of view, that won't be an issue, but I feel it's not enough time to meet, because I'm committed to so many other things. I'm also a female, and I'm also committed to my health, and that's recently too much of my time as well. Okay, so
but remember, we're not going to be able to do the Friday we then won't have the Friday afternoon, so we just want to move it to the Thursday morning. So it's not extra time.
Yeah, but exactly that extra time, it's important for me, because that's going to I won't be able to give much of a feedback on Thursday of what you're giving us on
okay, I see.
It's more than 24 hours, okay, than what you're giving us on Monday. Today it's only review, but if you're giving us any small practice to do or try, I won't be able. I mean, beside of you, Quentin, guys, you a bachelor, okay? It's different to be a bachelor and to have a family, okay, and to work as well. So that Friday afternoon gave me a little bit more time. So I can do that time-wise, but I won't be able to present some of the things if I am inspired to do that. It's too short for me.
Sure, and I think what we'll be more mindful in terms of the things that we're asking you to do, and it might not be necessary for you to be ready at that time, but we could maybe work on it together on the Thursday, and then you know, even after this session, we can have a quick chat about it. So it can roll over like that. So we can maybe just be more flexible in terms of a deadline. But I'd really like to get Jon in on the workout sessions as well.
Okay. Okay.
So let's try this Thursday. And as you said,
Just a second. This Thursday I need to check. General.
Because as you'll see today, as we go through the review, there's a lot of stuff maybe that we started doing and we kind of left because we started doing the next thing. I just want to make sure everybody is now on the same page.
Okay, fine. So
right.
I had something else. Okay, fine.
Great. All right. So we're going to do Thursday then. Thank you very much. And we'll Neil, you could put that out if the other guys want to join us as well. Okay, so where did we start off? If you guys remember, the first thing I asked you to do is to go watch the Simon Sinek video, because it's all about starting with the why, and it's not about the what, and it's not about the how. Yes, those things are very important, but the things that's going to keep you committed and the thing that's going to make you go to the end is the why. It is and I at that stage I said to you guys must really sort of dig in and decide about your what your why is. And Jon, you did a fantastic video. I was really impressed with the way you laid it out and went and thought about it, and was honest enough to sort of let all of us know about your why. And yeah, so and I think it's a nice exercise as well to keep asking yourself that question whenever you commit to something. So that's what we started off with, is the why, and the same question comes up when we start looking at our clients and our ideal customers. What is their why? And then also in terms of not just you personally, but you as a business owner, what is your business's why? So those are all always a relevant question. And as you know, you can ask the question again and again. For every answer, there is another why that you could ask for that. So I think a very interesting question. So remember the outline of the course. So what we set out to do is to first talk about the plan in terms of the road to success, and then how we're going to build it. And then finally, the piece that we want to put together is the growth section, and where you can grow a bigger business, because that's what online allows you to do. It allows you to grow bigger than you could ever possibly do if it was something that you were just doing in a physical sense. So the first part of the plan was designing your business. There we spoke about the avatar, taught you that word if you didn't know it before, and it's your ideal customer. It made you think about who she is and what she's about, or what he is, or what he's about, and what do they want. I taught you about looking for a niche and thinking about what do people search for, as well as what the internal questions that they have, the challenges and the fears and all of those sort of things. That helps you design what your business is going to be about. And then that leads to the target market. And then we started also from Neil's side in terms of, okay, once you have these people, you need to get ready for them. You need to have some tools to train them on. And Neil did a good job in terms of showing you guys the Trainerize app and also the consultation process. And I see a lot of you went through that video that we did in a practical sense. So yeah, that's Neil. I don't know if you want to mention something about the tools for now. Should I just go through the process?
No, I mean, the idea of this course is literally to focus you guys' attention on good tools and tools that work and that also are scalable. So it's a save in itself to put your attention on an app like this. Not that there aren't other apps, but I can personally vouch for this app because I have been working with this one specific piece of software for a long enough period of time to know that they regularly update it. They constantly add in things to it, where not all software is going to be the same. And over the last 5 years, it's changed a heck of a lot, and there's been more and more tools and things added. So it's just, I just want to drill into everyone that it's important to not waste your time on like exploring or going out there, because yes, that you could find something else, but why waste your time on something else that's going to give you probably a comparable or almost the same sort of tools, whereas you've got Quinton and I to teach you and literally take you step by step on the specific piece of software. So it's just a time save to actually just focus your attention and not use where we're directing your focus in this course, because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is save you time and also get you started as quickly as possible. So it's important to play around also as much as you can.
Yeah, and it's incredible in the digital marketing world as well. There's almost daily, there's new tools and new tricks and new strategies and things that come out, and they call it the shiny object syndrome. We love to chase shiny objects and say, "Ooh, I want to do that one. Ooh, no, that one looks better." And we keep changing, and we never get to the final destination. So the app is one piece of the puzzle that we're putting together for you. And yes, you could probably replace that with another piece of puzzle later on. But if you just, what we want to do is just streamline this and get you guys to a point where your business is set up, the basis of the foundation is there. Then we can get to the stage where we grow and we scale and we start doing all sorts of other fancy things. But yeah, if you're going to explore different apps and explore different platforms and those sort of things, that in itself will steal a lot of your time and keep you busy all day long. Trust me, I've been there, done that. So as we're talking about that, it is about a fast start. We want to give you guys a fast start into getting a trial clients. Neil, you want to talk about that piece?
Yeah, it's another thing that, again, like Jorn was also asking very good questions about, look, is it a waste of time to do a business plan? Definitely not. However, if you want to start your business as quickly as possible, and then you can always go back to that. This is what we're trying to do. Again, there's so many things that you can do in terms of, I'm not saying that they're unnecessary, but you can give yourself something called analysis paralysis, where you literally like focusing on this, and maybe I should touch up on that. And what we're saying here is, here are like the specific part of the tools that you're going to use that you would need to focus on. And this is the one thing that you need to know before you would actually get a client on board. And that was a consultation. And then we're giving you a system or an idea of how you can offer that to people, so that without spending money on and without spending time on like maybe building some free something, or like getting people interested by using marketing, which normally costs money. We're saying like, look, here's the thing that you really need to focus on, consultation, and here's a way to do a fast start in terms of not having this whole like marketing plan and then like trying to find some way of making your business look appealing. And you can say, look, you can do a trial session. You're going to be building what you're going to be using later while you're actually getting some money in. So this is another point where Quinton and I are pointing our attention directly on the bare minimum stuff that you guys need to do. And it's worth, again, playing with the tools, going through consultations and doing mock consultations if you don't feel comfortable with it. If you're someone like Alit and you've done consultations like many of them and you're already strong with that, then obviously that's something that you can skip over, or maybe take one or two pointers from the information that we've given you. But yeah, like literally to fast start the process and to actually get money in the bank, so that you could perhaps do marketing and all these special and fun things. This is honestly, as far as Quinton and I know, the fastest way that you can do that.
And of course, to get a fast start, just to get clients and to start working with clients is already going to give you a lot of information about what people want, so that when you start working with your 5th and 6th and 10th client and 20th client, then you've already got that background. So you'll always get better the more clients you can work with. So sometimes we think that no, things need to be perfect before we start. I'll have to have my whole program worked out to a T, and everything has just got to be perfect. But sometimes it's necessary just to get going and start working with people in order to get that feedback from people, so that you can start learning yourself and start improving your course. Your program, or your offer that you have at the moment, it's probably going to be a lot better in a year's time, and it's going to be even better 2 years from now, because we're always going to be learning. And so that feeds into this next section that we started talking about last week, which is your offer and your pricing. So again, if you start working with clients a little bit, you'll start quickly see what is valuable to them, as opposed to what you think is valuable to them. And you guys also listed out a program, what you guys believe are, say, the minimum of things that's going to help the client with their transformation, help them get to their outcome, as well as all the other additional things that you can do. And that video that I did today was the 6 steps of creating an irresistible offer. You'll see that also talks to this process of finding the really sitting, being creative and thinking, what can I add to this client? What else can I provide this client to help them on their journey to their final outcome? And then, of course, it's important to get those clients on board. And that's what Neil was talking about. How do you convert a trial session into a paid client? Okay. Any questions or comments so far? Because I think this is sort of where we are at the moment. Then we're going to, well, before we carry on in terms of where we see the next steps, have you guys got any questions in terms of just what we've covered so far, and where are you in terms of this process right now?
I'm still gonna watch the offer and pricing thing over, so I can actually adjust my own offer and actually write it out properly.
Okay.
And then also my consultation I still need to do, because that's one part that is, I wouldn't say my weak point, but it's one that I haven't practiced enough.
Yeah. Did you see the one that Neil did on me?
No, not yet. I'm gonna go watch that one and make some pointers, and then see from there how I'm going to do my consultation. Okay. And the main questions I will ask and so forth. Okay,
that sounds good. Elit, from your side?
Yeah, that's great. I'm like Jon. You remember that I mentioned that when you did so I didn't watch yet the video of consultation or the yoga that you sent me and the offering. I'm going to do it in this week sometimes. You remember that in the consultation, Neil mentioned once something like, how much coffee do you drink, or how much alcohol, cigarettes, something that, by the way, in breathwork, I don't know why they don't put it, which really affecting the pH level in the body and affecting the ability to breathe more effectively. So I also going to watch it and, touch up into my consultation form, which is quite beneficial. And then I will definitely look into my offer, because this is where I'm, banging my head against the wall, because I want it to be really good. I know it will change, but it's need to speak to me, and I can say, short, concise, to the point. Yeah, I get what you're saying. And the pricing, and still with the pricing, I'm a little bit, the playing with the prices, I'm a little bit contemplating, because what I notice is that we want people with commitment, but people always want to get something extra. And the videos that we're offering or whatever, that we work bloody hard on them, not always convincing people. People used to know that they're paying a certain amount, and if they get a special, okay, that's make it maybe worthwhile for them. So I still want to put the option of one session, how much it's going to cost, and should one commit it and it's desirable committed, for the package of the 6 and the 10, this is how much to get, discount, and on top of that they get A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah.
This is what I feel is still talking to me as I saw, as I spoke with people. And with Yon, if he wants, we can schedule like half an hour Zoom. I will help him with a consultation, because he is touching on similar things, but he has his own style and his own way. So perhaps I can help him, how to put question when it's coming to mental and emotional state, and it will help him with the consultation form, if he wants.
That would be really great. We can work out a time.
Okay, cool. Great.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Elet. That's great for offering that. And yeah, if you guys, it's maybe a good idea if you can also do a role reversal, and one can do a consultation on the other one, and you can pretend to be a client, or you could just talk about yourself like I did in my consultation. So go watch the video. I'll bare my soul to Neil, and there was tears, and it was a big. No, I'm joking.
You don't scare me, Quinton. You don't. In my classes, in my session, they can vomit, they break. The problem that you see in our society, people don't allow themselves to break down. Like you need to be always strong.
That's
the problem
true.
that you cannot do healing if you're not feeling. You need to feel, and part of feel is to break down.
I like that.
Go
Yeah.
through that with in safe environment, with compassionate, and then slowly, start to build and heal, and not I'm breaking down and suddenly I'm like strong. I'm pushing that away. We can't push things away. We think that we are, but it's
Yeah.
coming and visiting us later. But thank you. I hope that you could break down, Quinton.
Well, I would venture to break down when I'm not recording. So
Okay.
so maybe Elliot, you can do a practice round on me, and then we won't record it, and we won't tell anyone else about it.
Cool.
Okay. So yeah, so where we want to go next? Neil, do you want to talk about fitness testing, progress measuring, all of that sort of good stuff?
Yeah, it kind of ties into your converting clients to paying clients. So from trials to paying. One of the big differences there is, obviously you've already invested and you've got a connection with this person after going through a consultation. You've asked about obviously probing questions about where they are, what they've done, and then some like stories come up, and you get to know each other a little bit. And then you give them obviously a plan, a trial plan based on what they've told you. And then the important part of moving forward is letting them know, like, okay, we've invested some time together. Yes, we've got something together. But if we're going to commit to this and work together, then you start to tie everything. You tie the consultation to the long-term vision of, we need to be able to measure so that I know that I'm doing my job correctly, and that we need to know if your body is responding, yes or no. We need to know how to be able to measure this. We need to keep you motivated. And then that you speak to them about that in converting the trial to a paid session. But then you also need to know how to do it. So we're gonna teach you how to do the fitness testing and what things to measure, and how they become relevant in keeping that client motivated, and also showing them the vision of, we're not just randomly giving you things and hoping for the best. We're actually taking measurable actions, or we're doing measurable things where we can actually show you physically, this is where you were, this is where you are now. And then again, guys, we're going to talk about how this comes into the marketing the entire process as well.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win to be able to do this. If you're not measuring and you're not planning ahead, and you're not doing tests with your clients, you're doing them an injustice, and you're doing yourself an injustice and your business an injustice. Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't put enough emphasis on this, and so we're really gonna outline that for you in the fitness testing, and also show you how it's worth talking about in converting that person to a paid client, so that they understand, if you're paying for something and you do a long-term commitment, this is the data we're gonna have to know if things are working, and if they're not, then you as the professional can say, okay, let's try something else here or something else there, depending, even if you're doing breathwork or fitness or whatever it is. You obviously need to be able to measure yourself to know that things are getting better.
Yeah, and
Quentin,
yes.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because in breath work, for example, we're trying without the knowledge of the people, because the moment they're knowing, they're trying to break it better. So we actually measuring, how many breaths we do breathe, in what way, what is the body posture. We have a criteria how we see the breath, and then also we share with them what is the ideally kind of breathing to be an effective one, and where are they currently, not to put them down, but just to give them heads up where they can reach. But I recently even involve more what we call breath fit, so breathing for athletes that running and cycling as well. This is something I'm quite excited, but I want to take us back. You asked a question, and I didn't answer that because at the time I didn't came up, and it's not very much maybe for me, it's more for Jorn. The question to serve him is that we're doing consultation, we're doing trial, everything is for free. So the consultation is prepared, okay? The trial we draw out from the consultation form. So the person will put an hour or two for someone, and to know if they're coming or not to coming again. This is once. How many in percentage wise, and it's quite difficult, from your experience, Neil, people only took the consultation and the trial and never come back to a commitment program of 1 month to 3 months, whatever you offer them? Out of curiosity, because this puts also the mind of someone to know how much they need to invest, not to get disappointed. So I'm a person that is very much passionate, intense, and excited. So when I have prospect, I'm really to put all my heart to that, But the moment I'm giving my heart and the backing off for whatever reason, I'm feeling myself, I feel down, I feel disappointed. So if I would have like a measurement of, out of 10 clients, 2 clients, you will do consultation and trial, and they will not never, at this moment in time, they won't continue. Okay, so I will prepare myself mindly. Although I don't do free of charge trial for now. I pass this kind of things, okay? So yeah, just I'm curious to find out.
Yeah, I can't give you an exact number, but I've done this before. I'm not just making it up. The extra time that you do spend with a person, yes, it can be a sap on your time and a sap on potential income time. But I found that's especially nowadays the distinguishing factor with a trial of something that's you don't spend any time or effort or actually have that personal connection with someone. And nowadays people are inundated with that. But because it is such a personal, you invest in personal time and effort into the person. I found that even though I was spending, you put in your time on the line. When I did this, giving people free sessions when I was working at a gym, it was more than 50% that I was converting, and I thought that was really, really high. I got myself paying clients and within like, it was probably about a month of being at the gym, from having no clients at all, to giving these free sessions. I filled myself up really quickly doing it. Obviously, there's some people that just don't have the money or don't actually have the intent to take the sessions further. But I found what minimized that is telling them beforehand that you do have a package. It's not like a secret or something like that. And then people that aren't even going to consider it will actually just say, you know what, I don't want to do the trial really. But it was definitely over half of the people that I saw for consultations was converted into paying clients, whether it was just for a month or a package of 3. I didn't collect that data. I didn't specifically mark this out. If I knew I was going to do this now, I would have done it, but I definitely didn't take that close notice.
Okay. All right. So just my comments on the measuring process. So in my previous life, when I was in the research world, we used to talk about quantitative and qualitative research. So quantitative is obviously measuring numbers and scales and that sort of thing, where the qualitative is the softer things, is the feel and how people respond to it. So definitely we want to know both of those things, but the two together, if you got information on both and how people's lives are being transformed, it's very, very powerful. So think on both the quantitative and the qualitative sides. Okay, and then the next sort of level that we want to go to is in the growth phase. We want to get into that part very quickly, but that's obviously once we've bedded this down, everything up to where we are now. So we'd love for you guys to jump out and maybe go out and do the process where you can prospect a few people and get a couple of people on board, so you can start working with those people. While we are doing this coaching with you, so that we can start, you can give us feedback on how it's going with those first couple of clients, those trial clients, and we can say, okay, well, this is in real life, this person said this is how this person responded to this message and that message, and this is how it progresses. And we could take it, so that we make sure that we have this first 2 steps, the planning and the building, correct, and then we can start scaling this thing up into the next level. Okay, so also we spoke about getting clients through this prospecting process, and literally just going to people that you already know, using your phone to go through a list and contact some people just to get those clients on board. But the next level after that is when we start talking about the growth phase, and that's where we're going to go to social media, so we can bring more people into this world of ours and creating this community around us. And we started talking to you about using Facebook groups for that. Obviously, there's other social media platforms. Instagram is very powerful. Some people do it on LinkedIn, but we believe that just you can source or connect with people in different places. But just bringing them into this Facebook groups, I think, is at this stage the most powerful place in terms of getting communication going with people and cultivating a relationship with those people. And then that's, in essence, is going to create that free lead generation system for you. So this is talking about organic traffic, is bringing traffic into your world organically, and not having to pay for that. But once you have that basis, then it's definitely worthwhile to start looking at paid traffic even. And that's, I don't want to sort of scare you guys now, but that is definitely something we want to do in terms of the scaling your business into the future. And just a quick one on paid traffic, if you could get a good cost per lead is one of the measurements there, one of the quantitative measurements that when you do paid traffic, if it costs you 10 Rand for a lead and you are making 1,000 Rand a month out out of a customer, sorry, let's not 10 Rand per lead, let's say 10 Rand for a converted lead into a customer, then if that client brings you in 1,000 Rand a month, and the next month, and the next month, and you have that client for 6 months, 6,000 Rand for, and you pay 10 Rand for the lead, even if you paid 100 Rand for that lead, you can see that the maths add up, and it's worthwhile doing paid traffic if you can do it the right way. Cool.
Yes,
so
exactly. Sorry, Quentin. This is the issue. How one, and no one gave the answer, how one convert a lead, even if we pay for that, and this is what I try to do because only I got is like, into a client, into a paying client. And that's always the question that social media expert don't give us an answer because we don't know. It's depending on so many variables.
yes,
So you don't know, you get for your time, and I'm paying for the hope to get disappointed by the end of the day.
yes,
So I'm sorry, the plan is not really much of a good plan to really grow sincerely the business.
yes,
Okay. So my
yeah,
question, how you even if you're paying, and I agree with you, if you're paying 100 Rand, for a client that even pay you, 3 or 4 or 5,000 Rand, okay, it's definitely worthwhile in terms of marketing. But the
absolutely.
question, when does it happen? How does it happen? How often does it happen
Yes.
before the 100 Rand turn into 1,000, 3, 4, or 5? Okay.
Okay, so this is why I'm such a big fan of the Facebook group, for instance, because it allows you the opportunity to get some prospects or leads, sorry, let's call them prospects first, into an environment where they can start connecting with you, and they could start seeing what you're doing. They could start building a relationship in terms of knowing, liking, and trusting what you're doing. And then if the problem often with Facebook advertising is that you're trying to convert people who are cold leads, and that's expensive because you are trying to sort of force a message into them, and they might not even be aware that they have a problem. So the scale often talks about problem aware, and then solution aware, and then your solution aware. So some people are not even at the stage where they think they have a problem, and you saying to them, I give you 20 Rand off my package. They couldn't care less because they don't have a problem. So that's where the communication needs to follow a process. And even when you get to paid traffic, you can target people with a certain message when you're talking to people that are a cold audience, and you talk to people differently when they are warm or a hot audience. But that's all stuff that we're probably not going to get into paid traffic during this course. We want to leave that for a future scaling type of thing, which is this part over here, the scaling of your business.
Sorry, Quentin, when you say about hot, warm audience, what are you talking? People that need to make the final decision to become a client? Or
Yeah.
how you define hot, warm audience?
Okay, good question. Yes, Joram?
The people who already show interest on wanting to have your service. That's a hot and warm client, right?
Yeah,
or
absolutely. Actually,
Okay.
I've got that slide that I did. I just wanted to remind you guys, let me go to this one. So basically, if you have this funnel and the cold audience, the people at the top, and then inside, once they get connected with you, whether that be in Facebook group, or they become a follower of yours on Instagram, or they start watching your videos on YouTube, we're talking Facebook mainly, but then they gradually will warm up. And the way you warm them up is by making them problem aware. So like, for instance, did you know that a lot of discomfort and illnesses comes from not breathing correctly? Then they think, oh, I never knew that. I thought it was my diet, or, I don't know. I wouldn't venture into that example too deeply, but then they become problem aware, or, they, did you know a lot of headaches is due to, not having a habitually a routine of breathing and all that sort of stuff. So then that becomes, those people at the top once they are, you know, they can say, click on a blog that you have, or a piece of information, or they open an email where you explain that, then they will start forming part of the warm category of people. Now, and there's different ways that you can segment those people in traffic. But again, I'm trying not to get into the weeds of it too much. But then you target those people with a different message. And then once the people are ready to hear about your particular solution, then they fall into that hot section. And then if somebody is in that hot section, all they want you don't need to do all that persuasion anymore. You could just kind of tell them, here's my deal, here's my offer, here's the discount or the trial that I'm offering, and they're ready to buy. And again, the cold people, the cost per lead, the cost per conversion is much higher than the cost per conversion down at the bottom.
Sorry, Quentin, how much one need to invest in what you say, putting articles together or link into a video to be engaged? And this is why I said that I don't see myself that I can put so much time. Is it Quentin there? Or
yeah.
Okay, sorry. How much time one need to put in the social media to make the audience interested in the offering, so they will perhaps will turn from cold to warm and hot? Because now you're talking about putting an article about the headache that causing from the research from Houston University or another university that doing that, and video from this, video from that. And at the beginning now, I don't have much, but that takes hours of research in terms of that. So unless there are people that good researcher and find, you know, for me the stuff, and then I just quick overview that and say that's relevant, that seems not valid enough, and then I'm putting that on my website, you know, for the relation, not, I don't think it's relationship, it's making people interested until they're interested enough to buy a package from me.
Yes, yeah. No, absolutely. All of the stuff that if I talk about a blog and an email process, all of those sort of things, once your business get to a certain size and scale, it becomes important to do those things if you want to grow further. And that's when you truly start having a fitness business as to being just a personal trainer. And then it becomes viable to look at outsourcing some of those tasks. But that's why for now, for the process that we're talking about here, is that I believe that Facebook groups gives you the easiest opportunity without having to write blogs and those sort of things, because you could just get the people into your group and then ask the question in the group, did you know that how important breathing is to your health? And then based on the responses, or ask people, do they have issues with it? And if they respond, you can start that conversation, and that's part of the warming process. So instead of writing a blog, it's just a conversation between you and your group. So you're looking to find people in that group that are that's engaged and that talk to you. And so that you can still do in a free, organic kind of way. And then it's not as time consuming as creating whole stacks of content. Then again, having said that, I put another video out on the weekend, just about one or two tools. I think we mentioned a tool called Otter, like the animal, an otter, where you could literally speak your content and it transcribes it for you. And then I showed you also how to use something like Grammarly just to fix up the grammar mistakes and the spelling mistakes, and gives you a couple of other word suggestions. So go have a look at that video that I put up on the weekend as well. And it's I don't know what I called it, something about transcribing easily, creating text for content. So again, it's stuff that you could drop into a post, or you could drop it into an email, or again, use it wherever else you are connected to your audience. So we're going to have a look at that.
Thank you, Quentin. So I think the best is that what came up to me is like to pop questions, relevant questions, but to keep my time wise, then if I'm starting that kind of relationship on Facebook group, what would you say would be relevant? You know, it's once a day to log into that Facebook group and see who I can answer, because I'm a little bit concerned that it can be like forward and backward. They will try to squeeze information, knowledge, not necessarily being interested, you know, to find out about a package. How do I do that cleverly that I'm not conversed with the same person 6 or 7 times, but they're coming for consultation, perhaps a trial or a paid trial, I would say that. And maybe later from that, they take a decision to move to a package, okay? Because my clients so far, I never, for the breath work, didn't do trial. The way that I learn them is that because I say I need study cases, and because I'm doing that for a while for my advanced course, I said that going to be charged in a smaller fee than what usually I do charge. And this actually caught people, I don't know how, than before. So my question, how do I keep my time wise? Because I have so many demands on my time and not drain into a conversation with 1 or 2 people and them not coming on the trial or the lower package or whatever it is.
Look, I'll be honest with you. There's really only 2 ways to drive traffic. The one is organic and the other one is paid. If you are not going to do paid advertising because you don't want to invest the money, then you would have to invest time, which is the organic one. And that is, so I don't want to create the impression it doesn't take work. It does take work in a Facebook group. It's a snowball effect. It's going to take a while for the snowball to get momentum. So not just about answering the questions, but it's actually to create the conversations is going to take you to initiate conversations in that group. But once it starts going, then it's actually a good thing if people ask questions. It's a good thing if people want to know more from you. If somebody is giving you what they call buying signals in the group, where they say, yeah, but how would that work and how much would it cost, is you could always switch that to a messenger message, or do a private message with that person, or invite them to connect with you via WhatsApp or one of those sort of things. But what would be marvelous is if your group starts growing and you got some people answering other people's questions. Obviously, you can moderate that and make sure that nobody talks nonsense and nobody leads somebody else into some weird and wonderful medicine or something. But that's you want the conversation. That's what Facebook groups are all about. And in fact, Mark Zuckerberg has often said that that's the intention of Facebook, is to create community and conversations, and the group is the foundation of that. Is way more than a page as such. So I can't give you, unfortunately, I can't take that away from it. It will take work, but if you've got 100 people in your group that are truly interested in the topic and like the discussion around it, you'll actually enjoy those conversations. Trust me. And out of those 100 people, maybe 10 of them will become customers. And then you get, over the next year, you get another 100 people in. But don't hold me to the numbers. It just depends on the engagement in that group.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah. Also, all the people in the group will read the comments as well. So if you go instantly into a private message with that person, they won't, the other people won't get to knowledge that they also want. So if you answer them on the group, it will get directed to basically everyone in the group, and everyone will have that information, instead of you going like, oh, they want that information and then instant like private message, then
Yes.
that create actually a lot more work.
Yeah, I agree with you. You're right. You're 100% right. Thanks for clarifying that, Jorn. So yeah, have the conversation in front of other people so that everybody can learn from it, and maybe even encourage the members of the group not to jump to private messaging too soon. But if if somebody wants to book an appointment, obviously don't give your phone number, or don't let them give their phone numbers inside the group. But once you start booking appointments. But if you're brave, do a Facebook Live. Just click the Facebook live button and answer the question over your phone video. so yeah, create a fun environment where everyone is enjoying it, including you. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think we've spoken about so many of these things. I pulled some other slides and things that we've spoken about before. So we spoke about Jessica and what would Jessica do in terms of her goals, wants, and needs, her passions and interests, and then the next thing was to where people are and where they want to be. And you can see how this is starting to play into your offer again. So think about what people are thinking, feeling, and doing, what sort of milestones you can have, bring in some of those measurements, the quantitative, the qualitative measurements, and then some actions of what people need to do to go up this ladder to where they want to be. Those were the app things that Neil showed us. Neil spoke about the consultations. I mentioned that. Sorry, I'm just going through because we're nearly out of time. And then I showed you the personal profile, to use that as also a very valuable space in terms of connecting to new people, bring people into the top part of your funnel, the cold part, and always think about what would Jessica do. And then we did that demonstration as well, another video that you guys can go see, where I took Neil through setting up his personal profile and starting a Facebook group. And then what we did last week was the 6 steps of the irresistible offer. And oh yeah, actually there's this pyramid is using the different elements that you can build into your offer. So when you're going to do that video about the exercise that I recorded this morning, you could start thinking in terms of this pyramid and the types of value that you can give people: free content, on-demand app, up to live content, which is the most valuable content that you have. Okay, so, and then this is the exercise that's on the video. That's it. So this is basically what we expect you guys just to make sure that you've got all this work done, as you're looking at your ideal customers. You've got the keywords and the phrases ready, and then start looking at adding. Sorry, what is that about? Adding a workout phase and program?
Adding a workout phase on the program on the app.
Oh,
so
right.
What a phase is, what a program is, and how programs fit into phases, and how phases are the bigger part. I think if you break down what actually will take the most time, or what you should spend the most time on, if we're going to prioritize it for you, the more time you spend on making phases and programs, even if they're just mock programs, the less time you're going to have to battle when you actually get that converted client. And then consultations are also something that do take time, but like you said, Jorn, it's not something that you're probably going to struggle with, because I think you'll be good at consultations, but it is something that you do need to practice, and you just need the experience of it. So doing a couple of mock ones will just kind of break the ice for you, and see maybe on the things that you may need to touch up on, or how to do them. So what I did with Quentin, just a little trick, was when I was doing the consultation over Zoom, I had notes. I actually just used the slides that I gave you guys as guidelines to make sure that I was extensive in my consultation. So you can also have little clip notes or whatever of things that you feel that you might forget, or if there's something that you always forget to ask, you can have a little list. And while someone is while someone is answering a question or something like that, you can quickly scan to see through what other things that you do need to do. So the things to prioritize, or the things that are also going to take, well, first of all, the things that are going to take the most amount of time is probably your offer, really like nailing that down, and then obviously setting prices to that. Your workout phase, doing the workouts, the programming, so learning about phases, learning about how to build the program, which it is built quite well, so that shouldn't take too long. And then your consultations. If your consultations are strong, that's also something that's going to take a little bit more time. The rest of the stuff, it doesn't. Once you watch the lesson, these things don't take very long to do. Make a list of prospects. That probably took me about 15 minutes in total. And then doing your ideal customer and then the keyword search. Once you've got the knowledge from Quinton's teachings, it really wasn't very long for me to do the keyword search, especially with keywords anywhere. You type it in, you immediately screenshot it, you go to the next thing. Those things really don't take up much time. And I hope laying it out like this has shown you, yes, there is a lot of information that we've given you, but we've now here like summarized the action, just the action points, and it literally is just 5 things to do. So again, if you guys are having problems with anything, or if you don't understand something fully, ask on the Facebook group or ask on the WhatsApp group, and we'll try to clarify as clearly as possible.
Okay.
Hey, sorry, Neil, the workout, what are you talking about the workout? Because my workout is usually, every time it's a different workout. I don't have like a standardized workout, like there is in fitness, you want, to develop your biceps, your triceps, okay?
It's not a standard. I wasn't talking about a standardized one. I was talking about building mock ones. So my example was build, even if you just, the workout or the series of things that you do in a breathwork session, maybe one that you do for yourself, build that into the app. So you can start to just be familiar with the process and how to do it, so that when you're doing it for someone else, it's a lot easier and you don't have to do troubleshooting while you're building, if that makes sense.
Okay, and it's visible for me, it's not visible to the client, or it's visible for the client?
Yeah, it will at the moment with the trial client. It'll just be visible for you. No one else will see it if you're worried about that. But obviously, when you do get a client, you're going to build a phase and then workouts for that specific person, and then that specific person will be able to see it. The other clients won't see, and everyone has their own private information.
But that mock-up training, it's what when they're coming to me to a session, or this is something that they're taking home? I'm a bit confused with that. Or it's giving them an overview what we're going to do, or what we did already in the session one-on-one.
It can be used as an overview. So like, for example, I've got a client that is one of my hybrid clients that I saw today, and I built the exercise plan for her. We executed it together in person, and then I just tracked it on the app for her. So I basically, all the things that we did together, I just quickly put it together on the app. I just literally took the list of the exercise plan that I had in like writing, and I just tracked it into the app. But what I'm talking about, if you just have a person that is specifically online, it would be, so for you also do like a hybrid approach, as far as I understand. The in-person things that you do, you can choose if you want to be specific, so that that client can review and you can review what you've done with them later. When you have that Zoom session, you can put what you did into the app, even if it's just as more of a notes basis. But what I'm talking about specifically, what we were talking about specifically would be, so for example, the things that you want these people to do when you're not going to have a full session with them, like the 5 or 10 minute tasks that you said maybe they have to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's those things that I want you to practice, because that's where the app, that's where you're really going to be using the app to make sure that you aren't spending as much time with people one-on-one. So
Okay,
if you
so
can learn
this
how
is
to
the
build that.
So this is the homework, the practice that they take home, the mock-up workout. Am I right?
Yes,
It's
the stuff that
homework,
they
right?
will take home, yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Are we done?
I think that's everything. Yeah, I hope that clarifies things and just kind of gives you a good overview as to, again, where we're going, but like a little recap on what we've done, so you can just see where we are in the process. And it's our way of doing like the fitness testing. Like, we're just checking in with you guys and being like, so remember we said we were going to do these things. That's what this looks like now. Now we've kind of backtracked and just shown you again how far we've come in the process already.
Excellent. All right, guys, thank you very much. And don't forget, we're going to do Thursday morning. I'll send out a calendar invite for that.
Okay,
thanks
perfect.
for accommodating us. All right.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
See you soon.